Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome once again to NoDQ&A Video, the official Q&A video series for NoDQ.com. It is summer, it is getting hot here in Southern California, and things are starting to heat up in WWE. We have Money in the Bank coming up. Got a lot of questions here regarding Money in the Bank, so let's get right down to it. First one today comes from Bubba Cam. Do you think Mark Henry should win the WWE title? I do, because when was the last time we had a full African American as WWE champion? Even if Mark wins it and Daniel Bryan cashes it in, either way, it would be a historic moment. I agree with you. It would be something special to see Mark Henry win the WWE title. Not just because he's full African American, but also because he's been so loyal to the company over the years. He's done crazy things like sleeping with Mae Young and having her give birth to a hand. Mark Henry has done a lot of ridiculous things over the years. You know, the thing with Sammy, the transvestite. He's been a trooper for WWE. He's been there time in and time out. So I would like to see him win the WWE title just for that. WWE's way of thanking him for everything he's done over the years. But I'm not sure if it's going to happen or not. I think that when WWE first had this match in mind, it was merely a placeholder, just another guy for John Cena to beat on pay-per-view leading up to SummerSlam. But, coming off that retirement segment, maybe WWE is impressed with Mark Henry, and maybe they'll decide to give him a run, even if it's a short one. I mean, as you mentioned here, Daniel Bryan could cash it in on him, and they could move on to John Cena and Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam with Bryan going in as champion. So WWE could go in that direction, and I would not rule out Mark Henry winning the title. But at this point, I'm going to lean towards Cena retaining. All right, this one comes from Jeroen Inc. What are some of the craziest in-ring botches in your opinion? Mine would have to be the shooting star by Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle, or the famous shooting star knee drop by Billy Kidman. There have been some high-profile botches over the years. The ones that stick out the most to me are the ones that usually involve non-wrestlers, guys like Vince McMahon. I remember the botched pedigree. It was the segment where Triple H and Stephanie were supposed to renew their vows, and Vince botched the pedigree there. And he botched the stunner several times. Even the first time in Madison Square Garden, he kind of fell over Austin, and it just looked awkward. And, there was one time where Vince was completely off with the stunner. It looked so bad. I think it was around the Invasion period, like right before the Survivor Series 2001, somewhere around there. And then Linda McMahon taking the stunner. That was another one that was just terrible. I think it was the Raw Homecoming. I mean, that one was one to remember. And then I want to mention one that I don't think a lot of people would remember. It was on Thunder in WCW. It was DDP versus The Machine. The Machine was climbing up the top rope, and DDP crotched him. The problem is that DDP went to the complete opposite side of the ring and hit the ropes on the opposite side. And the Machine, instead of just crotching himself, he stood up, he screamed, and then he jumped like halfway across the ring to crotch himself. It just looks so bad. You could look it up. It's on YouTube. Just type The Machine DDP or search for it on Google, and I'm sure you'll find it. All right, this one comes from WWE Fan 5. Frequent question giver. Hey Aaron, why wasn't Jack Swagger's Money in the Bank cash-in your Money in the Bank cash-in video? I know it's easy to forget, but you had Kane's and I completely forgot about that. Yeah, I kind of did forget about Jack Swagger's Money in the Bank cash-in, and I only had about 200 people notify me of this. But it's weird because I actually did go on Wikipedia when I was coming up with the list, and I just wanted to make sure that I didn't forget anything. And of course, I somehow still managed to forget Jack Swagger's cash-in. Now, I'm sure a lot of people wondering, where do I rank this? And the fact that I forgot it should tell you all you need to know. Wasn't good. It was definitely at the bottom. In fact, I think I would have it as the second worst cash-in next to John Cena's. I mean, it just wasn't that memorable, and WWE, they put the Money in the Bank on him, they put the world title on him, but they didn't want to push him like a world champion. So, it was pretty much a flop, one of the biggest flops in terms of world title reigns ever. All right, this one comes from S Swabby1. Hey Aaron, what are your thoughts on the new WWE 2K14 cover with The Rock holding the mic? Please answer in video. I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about it. Some feel that why have The Rock on the cover when he's not around? The bottom line is WWE is trying to sell video games. And you put The Rock on the cover, that's going to sell more video games than just about any other person on the cover. I mean, John Cena included. So I think from a business standpoint, it's the way to go to put The Rock on the cover. And will he make an appearance to promote the video game? I mean, who knows? I mean, I think it's a possibility. I also think it depends on his schedule. He doesn't have to wrestle to come in and plug the video game. So I think there's a decent chance at some point this year we'll see The Rock come out and do a little segment, maybe give somebody the rock bottom, and that'll help promote the video game. So, I'm perfectly fine with him being on the cover, and, like I said, it's the right business move. Do you see the Money in the Bank pay-per-view becoming bigger than SummerSlam one day? Well, in terms of quality of the pay-per-views, I think that Money in the Bank has already become bigger than SummerSlam. I mean, since 2010, Money in the Bank, in my opinion, has definitely been a better pay-per-view than SummerSlam. Each year, I feel that SummerSlam has been a disappointment. So I'm hoping this year things will change. Money in the Bank is going to be a great pay-per-view. So SummerSlam is going to have its work cut out for it. SummerSlam is going to need to be a really good show this year to top Money in the Bank. But they got CM Punk and Brock Lesnar, maybe John Cena versus Daniel Bryan, maybe The Undertaker returning. So we'll see. I'm really hoping that WWE has a good SummerSlam this year. All right, this one comes from Jeremiah Dorset. Hey Aaron, will we see an undisputed champion again at this time? There are no undisputed champions in any wrestling company. Will we see one more time? Please answer in video. I don't know what's going to happen as far as crowning a new undisputed champion or merging the titles again. It's interesting because WWE had 2 championships because of the brand extension. So you'd have one world champion on Raw, one world champion on SmackDown. But now times have changed, and the brand extension is pretty much dead at this point. And I don't understand why you have to have 2 world champions, especially when the world heavyweight champion isn't even portrayed as a top level guy. I mean, the world championship seems more like the IC title at this point, like the old IC title. But then again, maybe WWE wants to keep that lineage of the world heavyweight title, going back to the WCW title and the NWA title. And that's the reason that WWE is keeping it around, because it has that prestige and that legacy. But realistically, if you're going to keep the World Heavyweight title around, you might as well make it a top-tier title and not a secondary title. I mean, you look at the SmackDown Money in the Bank match, and I'll get to that in a minute. I mean, it's a bunch of guys that are normally in the mid-card and not the main event. So, I have mixed feelings about it. I feel if you're not going to do the brand extension, you may want to consider merging the titles at some point. All right, last question today. I just saw the SmackDown result. Oh, by the way, this is going to be SmackDown spoilers, so you don't want to be spoiled. I purposely saved these questions for the end. Just turn off the video right now. And thank you for watching NoDQ&AV video. But if you're sticking around, here we go. Hey Aaron, I just saw the SmackDown results. Why the hell is there an all-heel in the World Heavyweight title Money in the Bank ladder match? I don't know the answer at this point why WWE has done things the way they're doing it with the WWE title Money in the Bank match is all baby faces, and the SmackDown match or the World Heavyweight title match is all heels. Not sure why WWE is doing that. It's definitely interesting. And another question I got here is, who do you think is going to win the SmackDown Money in the Bank match? Actually, a lot of people ask me this. Not only is it all heels, but the World Heavyweight title match, as I mentioned in the other question, it's mostly mid-card guys. The WWE title match has all the top superstars, and this one has more of the up-and-comers, which is actually what they did last year. And, I'm kind of fine with that format. I mean, whatever, except for the fact that, the World Heavyweight title, it feels like a Money in the Bank for the IC title. As far as who I think is going to win, My smart money would be on Dean Ambrose. I think when you look at all the guys in the match, you have to go with the guy that you think has the most potential in the long run, and the guy that the company is the highest on, and I think that would be Dean Ambrose. But I could see several of these guys winning as dark horse candidates. I mean, you have Antonio Cesaro in there, but I think that's a long shot for him to win. Same thing with Cody Rhodes and Damian Sandow. I mean, I think that they're long shots. Wade Barrett, I think would be the next best choice after Dean Ambrose. I could see Wade Barrett possibly winning it. Jack Swagger, no, don't see him winning it. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to go with Dean Ambrose on this one and maybe Wade Barrett. All right, that'll do it for my thoughts on Money in the Bank, and that'll do it for this edition of No DQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. Just a little note here, my 1-year wedding anniversary is this weekend, so I'm going to be taking a little bit of a break from videos. I will be back next week with more No DQ&A video and more various topic discussion videos. So if you have an idea for a video, like a topic or whatever, just let me know, leave a comment. I'm definitely open to suggestions. And with that being said, I will see you guys next week for more No DQ&A video.